up? It's your girl Tae Marie, and I'm back on this thing. Okay, here we are, back at it again on Soul Food Podcast. Welcome to Soul Food Podcast. Y'all already know this is episode 34. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, and simply this one is called "Are You Real?" Period. Are you real? Straight like that. What is one thing you learned about yourself recently? And I'm gonna read what I got in my notes. It says, I realized that I have a caring heart, and for years I let my heart make my decisions and dictate my brain. That is very true. But saying here, I also want to put out like what else I realized about myself is that like I'm my biggest cheerleader, not to even flex, but like if I'm being real with myself, I'm being real. Like I'm my biggest cheerleader. I always been that. Like I'm looking at my not my baby picture, but like when I was like 3, you know, I'm looking at the picture right now and like I've always just been happy. Like to this day, like I still cheese like that. Like I always just been a happy person. And what I feel like I realized is that, you know, maybe I also try to find happiness outside of me or wanted, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just really feel like I always just been a happy person. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't get mad. Of course, I get mad. But at the same time, it's just like, I feel like I've always been positive. I always looked at the brighter side of things. Like, I always just been that type of person. And I'm realizing, like, you know, yeah, I did let a lot of things dictate me coming up. Like, I let too much stuff dictate my brain, too much stuff, tell me, oh, you shouldn't be or you shouldn't feel or whatever. Like, I always just had this fire in my heart, and I always had this positivity in my spirit. Like, I was just thinking about this the other day, like, because somebody came to me and was like, how is you and this person so close? Like, this is an older person in my life. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, we used to just always have conversations and, even being young, they used to just put stuff on my little heart. And, it was just me, like, listening and in my perspective, it's just like, oh my God, you're sharing with me your story. Like, this is cool. Like, you're giving me imagery about who you really are. And I don't think that person meant to like spill the beans about their life, but I feel like I always been a presence of it's okay. Like, if you want to talk about it, I'm here to listen. You know, and even if they feel bad, it's the comfort that I give of just like, it's okay. Like, I mean, you're not like that now. Like, I feel like you're this type of person. I feel like you're great. I feel like whatever. Like I always just been that type of person. And maybe a little bit, like going through a little bit more life. I always still bring humor, at least in the conversation, but I'm always been stern, and that just comes from my family. Like, we're very stern people. But even on my dad's side, like, my dad is hilarious, and I feel like him being in my life and, cracking jokes and stuff like that, like, I feel like I get that from him. And it's just like, I also learned how to laugh at my pain, I learned to laugh at my pain. And sometimes things do be serious, but sometimes things just be a little too serious that you just can't not laugh. Like, you gotta laugh. Like, this is crazy. So back to what I was saying, like, with the caring heart, like, I feel like my heart has put me in a lot of situations where I did not need to be in. I prolonged it longer than it should have been. And it's ultimately because I know that people may act a certain way, people might be a certain way, but in all honesty, it's a reason. And I done met people that are, I don't know. I don't know. I done met a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like my heart or who I am has opened a lot of doors for me to be in certain places where I actually got to see who this person is behind closed doors. I got to see why certain people act certain ways. And even though, sometimes my brain may tell me like, I don't know if I really like this person for you. I don't really think that this is going to be a long haul type of relationship. My heart would say like, but they may need you. They may need your advice. They may need your shoulder. So don't be mean to them, because you see what they got going on. You see why they're acting like this. And then it's an ongoing argument between my heart and my brain. Like, okay, I get that. But at the same time, you know how you get when you put your heart in things. You start neglecting yourself. You start feeling like you gotta be there. The loyalty kick in. And I really want you to avoid this, because you do need to be careful, because just because you see that doesn't erase the fact that this person, this situation does not exist. It exists. Okay? And the last thing we need is for your heart to be broken. Your brain start reminiscing about the times that, you knew you wasn't supposed to be in certain situations, certain places, but here you are. So self-reflection is important, because you need to reflect on things that are going on in your life, the patterns and etc. But awareness in your personal growth and relationship will teach you where to be and where to avoid. For one thing, like I always tell you guys, I'm gonna just bring this up: sex in a relationship. When it comes to sex, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Okay, that's all I need to say. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But sex ain't do nothing for me but make my heart just go, just take me, please. It made my heart grow fonder. It's just like, especially when you're attracted to somebody, like you want to do it. You want to give your all. But once I gave it up, I thought about all those situations where I gave in. And I prayed that, okay, somebody got to just look past the fact that, we was in a situationship and stuff like that, because, obviously we must like each other, in some type of form. But I had to grow up and I had to learn that sex is truly sex. There's different forms. It depends on the chemistry within that. But ultimately, sex is sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, like I said before on another episode, when Miss Pat was talking about it, like, she was speaking to my spirit, not my spirit now, because I locked that boy up. I locked her up, okay? But she was talking to the old me, you know? And let me tell you, like, not my mama, not my aunties, not my grandma. I can never sit here and say that none of them women let me just be some scallywag out here. Like, if my was getting a little hot, they would let me know. And just like, I don't care if you my niece, my little cousin, especially when I ain't had no nieces. I was the big cousin, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't play that because they didn't play that about us. Like, so I'm not gonna sit here and say like I ain't had no home training, but you know, it was the attention. It was the attention. But eventually, like what Miss Pat was saying was just like, you know, you do gotta go out here and, you know, have some respect for yourself, you know? And even though, you know, my thinking wasn't correct and, you know, I let the world make me realize like, oh, I gotta do this to do this or get this, you know what I'm saying? I don't know prostitution stuff, but you know, if I'm gonna win his heart, I gotta do this and I gotta do this and I gotta take it there. I gotta be like the girls on the songs, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be the girls on the videos. I gotta get right so I can get chose, you know? But being in my journey, I truly believe in my heart that I'm already chosen. I already have a husband out here. The thing is, like when I just heard this sermon the other day, are you ready for this person to come in? And no, I am not. You know what I'm saying? Because all that thinking and all that pleasing back in the day, when I finally got into it, I was overwhelmed because I didn't work on me. You know? I didn't work on me. I'm too busy trying to please him. I'm trying to submit to him. Not knowing like my soul deep down inside is crying for me to get to know me. Why you not doing that for yourself? Why you not making time for yourself? Why you don't make cute little dinners for yourself? Why don't you learn this recipe for yourself? Why don't you buy that outfit for yourself? Why don't you get sexy in private for yourself? After hearing that, I was just like, okay, I don't think I'm ready for a husband yet. You know what I mean? I hardly was ready for a boyfriend, you know? Cuz I'm just thinking about the cute stuff. But when you really in a relationship, you got to sacrifice a lot, you know? And like I said before, I'm willing to go through hell and hot water for my relationship, you know? But when you really in hell and in some hot water, you be thirsty for some ice cold water, boy. You be thirsty. You be thirsty. Like, can somebody turn on the AC? Jesus. Okay. Just like that man told me in Florida. You live in Florida, that AC gonna run it up. Yeah, it's beautiful down here, but when you really in this heat, you gonna be running up that bill. And it's just like, I don't know, like, again, your heart, letting your heart is dictating your brain. I'm ready. I want this. He look good. I should be with him. Whatever it is, whatever we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Wherever this meets up with you, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, my heart got me in a lot of trouble in a lot of situations, you know, where I'm just like, how am I about to get out of this? Not even on relationships, but really like many situations. If I could tell y'all, I'm thinking about a couple of stories right now that's just like, it's just like, how did I really get into this situation, you know? Or why did I put myself in this position? Like, really going through what I've been going through, just reflecting and sitting back and just watching and just, I don't know. I don't know. Because I just want to put this out here real quick. Like, again, this is hard. Change is hard. And self reflection has definitely changed my perspective on situations because it made me realize that I was not myself. I dealt with premature things of people using tactics to scare me, to keep me, to whatever. And maybe even put me in situations where people thought I was dumb, naive, or whatever. But another thing that I realized is a lot of people that I done been around just ain't never met nobody that's been real. A lot of people just called me naive but didn't realize like I'm truly just genuine. And what I had to realize is a lot of people ain't never met somebody that's truly genuine, truly happy for them, rooting them on, want to see good for them. You know, no matter what your situation is, I'm not going to judge you on that. But I really want to just say this too. Like, I don't want situations to make people bitter. I don't. Like, it's just like, because that's truly what the whole thing is about, to make you bitter, to taint your heart. You know, reality is to teach you to never fall for it again. That's what it's about. Before I get into the next part, I just keep thinking about this girl. I've been thinking about her for like a month now. But like, this girl came to my school, my high school. I think I was a freshman. And she told us about her boyfriend. It's some girl on the west side. I just be thinking about her. Like, I hope she doing okay. Like, I hope she's good. Like, or wherever she is in life. I just want to tell her right here, right now, even if somebody know her, like, your story truly changed my life. Like, you know, you truly changed my life. Like, because it was just so deep, so personal, so brave of you to stand up and tell your story. But the girl, she's from the west side out here in Cleveland, and she told us her story about her boyfriend who was very abusive to her. And he ended up shooting her in the face. It's for the fact that your heart, your love for people will really take you through something. Like, it really will take you through things. Like, even though you know you shouldn't be there, you know you shouldn't be dealing with it. And especially when you know the situation at hand, you be wanting to fix stuff. You want to fix people. Like, I love you so much. I just want to hold your hand. I just want to hug you. I just want to kiss you. I just want to tell you that it's going to be all right. And that's what keeps people in situations, because we be trying to hold people's hands that don't want us to hold their hand. They don't realize that we here to help them. And it isn't our job to help them. Like, we can give people advice. We can, hey, I know this place that whatever. If you need me to drop you off there, I could do that. But one thing I also learned is that sometimes it's better to just let people figure out their own demons. and just be there when you can. But just because you love them don't mean that you gotta be all in it. Because then now it's gonna get wrapped up into what you got going on. It's gonna take you through a new whirlwind when you already got whatever you got going on for yourself in your life. I wrote in this next one, I want you to ask yourself right now, what is it that you're battling with when it comes to you versus you? I want y'all to write it down. I want you to record it, whatever you need to do. And listen to how you feel and take it seriously. Then come up with how you are going to how are you going to acknowledge the awareness, Right now, I feel like when it comes to me versus me, like, it's just me getting better. Me feeling better about myself, Like, like we always say every year in December, here we go. But it really is just like the date changing, y'all. Like, for real. Like, even if it's tomorrow, like, how you gonna be better than today? Because 2026 or not, 2027, 2029, 2040, we gonna be saying the same things in December. But in real life, in real time, like, what you about to acknowledge and be aware about? Like me, like, putting this out. I be feeling some type of way because I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be at when it comes to this. But in all reality, I haven't even tried yet. Like this girl that I follow on Instagram, I can't think of her name. I'm gonna try to remember and put it right here. But I've been watching her content lately, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I love her content because she is being herself. She being authentic, And I was just watching her thing today, like, she was like, I motivate, I talk about Jesus, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, no shade, no tea, like, that's just me. And it's the same thing, like, this is truly who I am, And so bad, something in me be wanting to be like, man, don't nobody want to hear this. And maybe it's the negativity in my mind, like, of, you know, I'm trying to motivate. I'm being real. I'm trying to be real and tell people, even if you sitting there like, dang, you must have had a hard life while you over here talking about all this. I ain't had that much of a hard life. For real. I done seen people go through stuff. I mean, I didn't have my own feelings that maybe I felt like I didn't express, and this is my platform where I express it. But at the end of the day, it's not about me being depressed and talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was anything else, some booty shaking, gossiping, and all that other stuff, or y'all be all ears, ready to talk about the next thing and na. But when it's something that's really good for your soul, you wanna sit here and be like, no, because you feel something. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that. And that's what I'm saying. Stop running away from things and face it. Stop being so fearful and face it. Just like I had to face it. 2025, 2023, 2024, all the way to 2025 of December. I done had to face everything that I faced. I had to look at people in their face and realize stuff. Hurt, crying, pushing myself to not go back to the same things that hurt me. Listening to my brain and telling my heart, you are such a good person, but it's time to go. Just because I acknowledge what is going on doesn't mean that I gotta be hateful towards people. I don't hate nobody. But I now know and I'm now aware of where I am loved and where I was tolerated, where people don't clap for me But where people come to me, maybe staying in my DMs, keep going, Tay. I'm standing here right now because, shoot, for one, a classmate that I didn't even know, ain't nobody knew in our class that he was going through what he was going through. And I seen him at my job. And before he left, he turned back around and said, Taylor, I miss when you did those videos on Snapchat. Why you stop? And I told him, like, people told me I talk too much. And he was like, no, keep talking, because there's some people that be wanting to hear it. And that touched me because that's all I'm trying to do. And for anybody that's listening, like I always say, of course, here are things that you can do to really self-reflect. And if you just really set time for yourself to just think about your experiences and ask yourself questions. How am I feeling? You know, am I moving too fast in this situation? You know, I'm feeling this way. Who can I talk to in this moment that's going to give me real advice? Who's not going to shame me? Who's not going to run away and tell my business, but truly want to sit here and listen because they care and they want to give me the right advice and turn me to the right direction, like I'm trying to do right now. You know, what are my patterns when it comes to dating? What are my patterns when it comes to my daily life? And how can I make better decisions so I can move forward and never do this again? Trust me, this don't just, like, this is a decision every day. I could truly just turn back and be the person that I used to be. I could truly just turn back to be the old Taylor and just people please and be out here in situationships and have 4 or 5 baby daddies and, do the things that I was doing. But I really sat back and looked at my life. I really sat back and asked myself, again, I love my life. I do. But my life is still continuing, and there's still more life in me. There's still days ahead of me. Do I want to continue the same patterns until I'm 60 years old? No. And not knocking anybody that's 60 and still out here trying to find themselves. But at the same time, I find a lot of those people in that position. They be like, oh, I didn't, and I'm just now, and if I could, and like, I mean, you can't go back to your 20-year-old self. You can't go back to your 30-year-old self. But you still have life living. You can still do it. You can still do whatever you want to do. If you were in a marriage for all these years and it just didn't work out, and y'all finally getting a divorce because the kids are out the house, be real. Are you being real? Like, are you being real with yourself? Because a lot of people, I feel like, too, be feeling like they so embarrassed to talk about it. To admit, like, I don't know where I was at. I don't know what was leading me, I didn't take that time. I just did it, or I got pregnant, or, it was time to get out the house, or that's just what society told me what to do. So I did it. But I never found myself. I never got to travel the world. I never had girls' trips. I never got to pursue and find my niche. I never got to do none of that. I just was living my life. And it's just like, that's fine. That's just, shoot. I feel like in our generation, I feel like we didn't know what to do maybe in our 20s, our teenage years. versus the kids now, they making money in their teenage years. You know, and I be thinking back to myself like, dang, if I could have, I would have, man. But I mean, again, I still got life to live. I still can do things. I still can have ideas. I can still make moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta live this life that I feel like I gotta live because everybody tell me I gotta live it. This is my life. This is your life. Come on now, y'all already know. So it's just like you truly gotta set aside time and ask yourself these questions and stop thinking it's silly, because at the end of the day, either you gonna take a chance on yourself or you gonna keep letting people that don't even want to do nothing, don't even think about it, just live in an airplane mode their whole life, tell you what's silly. No, I don't feel like I'm being silly, you know? I took a chance on myself. It's opening doors. I get to meet new people. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since I really started pursuing into the stuff that I like to do, the little hidden talents I got, I met a lot of people off of this. Still know them to this day. I still wanted to pursue. I still wanted to take a chance. I seen other people doing it and I was like, that looks fun. Why not? Why not do it? And of course, people was telling me I was silly. Oh, everybody trying to do this now. You know, whatever you're talented at, do it. Do it. Even if it's just starting off as a hobby, just do it so you don't regret later that you did not do it. Don't run from yourself. Don't run from what makes you happy because it makes other people uncomfortable. That ain't got nothing to do with you. That's going to stop you, if anything. It's going to have you in regret later. That's just them. It sounds like them transferring their energy to you. Oh, they scared and nervous, so they about to make you scared and nervous. They get away from me. Like, I don't got time for that. I'm gonna pursue what I'm pursuing, and if I look silly doing it, then I'm gonna be silly doing it. But if it actually turned into something, then that's what's up. All right, so let's get into this viewer question of the week. So the viewer question of the week is, what's one question you ask yourself to promote self-awareness? And one thing I always ask myself, again, like I just said, is I always ask myself how I feel internally. Because I know whatever I feel inside is eventually going to come out of me. Like, if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to ask myself about that. Like, why do I feel this way? But I also have learned that I have to be honest. But I also have learned that some things don't need to be said. Like, sometimes it is just what it is. Like, you know, even though we want answers and we want to acknowledge things and we want to bring things to the light, sometimes I realize that you can't force that. Life sometimes is just going to bring that into play when it's time for it to be brought out. But don't force things like that. Like, but the only thing you can control and worry about is yourself, because you have to deal with that. You got to deal with you. And I just, again, want to just put out there, this episode is just about being authentically about you. Being real about how you feel and where you see yourself going, reflecting on things and being aware of things. You know, are you being real with yourself? Are you being true to yourself? Like, we just gotta remember why valuing self-reflection is very important to you and the people around you, because once you realize what's going on with you, once you reflect on whatever, again, this is where it connects to you, then that means you can finally improve the relationship with yourself. And once you improve the relationship with yourself, then you will start acknowledging the things that again, you do want to deal with, you do want in your life, the things that you are willing to associate yourself with, and that will improve the relationships around you, because then you'll know how to categorize things and people that's in your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around people that sit around and gossip. I mean, I like a little tea myself, but I also learned where gossip can get you. You know, you sitting around talking about people, making up lies, doing all whatever, you gonna reap what you sow. And I don't want to be there to reap anything, especially about somebody's business that I don't know about. I'm not trying to be in the midst of that, because then when drama come knocking at their door, my name gonna be in it too, and I don't even truly know what's going on. So before I go, I wanted to just say it's so valuable to know who you are, because once you know who you are, you'll start gravitating to the things that connect with you, and you'll build relationships and improve relationships, because now you clearly understand what it is that you feel is for you and what is not, and I just want to put out there, just because you figure out where the line is in your life does not make you a bad person. It just makes people feel like you acting brand new or whatever. Like, it's not even that. It's truly, I just don't want to deal with it, and we just don't connect like that, because you just don't respect the line that I put personally for myself to feel whatever I need to feel in my life, you know? And it's just like, it ain't gotta be deep like that. Like, maybe you don't eat meat no more. You don't eat pork or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But your friends over here cooking up some bacon, throwing ham in your face, doing all that type of stuff. And you just like, bro, you know, if you ain't trying to make this type of meal just for the sake of me, then I'm going to bring it, you know? And I'm going to stay away from it, or flat out, like, I'm just not going to come, because I don't want to disrespect what you got going on. But I'm also not about to sit there hungry. And if they just like, bruh, you can eat a little bacon on your sandwich, like, you tripping, like it's not even that deep. But it's just like, it's deep to me. Like, I'm cool on it. I learned about it. I researched it. And I feel like I don't want to intake that no more. And you shouldn't either, but I'm not about to force that down your throat. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm cool on bacon. I'm cool on eating the swine. I'm good on the pig. Like, that's just what it is. Like, we ain't got to argue about it, but that's what it is now. And again, if you don't respect it, if you don't want this or whatever, like, that's just on you. Like, but personally, I'm just going to skip out on that, because that's just not me no more. And that's just what it is. Like, I mean, if they just like, oh, you tripping, like, we all like bacon, like, I don't know. But it's just like, it is what it is, you know? So, I just want to put that out there. And, of course, y'all know, please tell me y'all got it, because I don't even see it on my page right now. I don't even see it. No. Oh no, y'all. I ain't got a quote this week. I don't have a quote. But one thing that I'm going to put out there, I'm going to make up my own quote, is if you ain't being real with yourself, who you really being real with? Boom. There go a quote. Who you really being real with, you know? Who truly knows you if you don't know you? So, I don't know. That's my little quote. But I got to go, y'all. I got to go. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. And my baby getting irritable. So, of course, y'all already know. Thank you for checking out Soul Food Podcast. Thank you to my viewers. I love you guys so much. Okay? Definitely tap into the links down in the description box. If it's not there, give me a minute. But definitely tap in. Like, I got a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, I'm here to be a service. You know, I got my consultations that I'm doing now. I'm also doing editing for anybody that needs it. Definitely reach out to your girl. Like, I'm here to help. I'm definitely willing to help. And I don't know, new things are coming, and again, a little shy about it, but I'm gonna get better as long as I keep on showing up for myself every day. That's all that matters. So y'all already know. Again, check out the description box, and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Okay, but I'm out. Good night to you guys. See y'all later.